BMO is a proud sponsor of Access Speed Mentoring Program, which pairs job-seeking new Canadians with professionals in their area of expertise. More than 1,900 immigrants have benefited from contacts through speed mentoring sessions. Overall, Access has an 80% success rate in helping new Canadians enter the workforce. A great Access success story involves one of our current employees, Ashwin Jose. Ashwin's 10-year immigration process to come to Canada from India was long and challenging, but he was thrilled to arrive just a year ago. However, Ashwin was disappointed to discover that his job search was fruitless, and he, like many new Canadians, believes that not having a Canadian degree or Canadian experience was a huge and unfounded barrier to his employment. Well, their loss is our gain. Ashwin did join BMO Financial Group after meeting one of our recruiters at a speed mentoring event. And talk about turning potential into performance. Ashwin is now the #1 sales performer on his team. He has exceeded his sales targets by 400% and is boasting exemplary customer loyalty and satisfaction ratings. The story doesn't end here. Ashwin's experiences at BMO has been so positive that he has referred 2 additional individuals to the company. And I'm proud to say that they too have joined our company. We built a relationship with Ashwin by recognizing the potential in his passion for customer service and is willing to develop his career at BMO Financial Group. That has led us to onboard, as I said earlier, 2 other employees that reflect the new faces of the communities that we do business in. I'm going to be very candid right now and share you a very different story. A little over 2 years ago, I stood in front of a group of the senior-most executives in the personal and commercial division in Canada. The CEO of that business invites on a regular basis leaders to have an annual offsite. And the CEO had participated with me, along with most of the senior leaders in his business, in a speed mentoring event. And we were all so fascinated by the talent, the capabilities of the individuals that we met, that I thought that the story that I would be sharing with his team would be a little bit shocking. And so here goes. So in the speed mentoring event, the actual first one that I participated in, I met a new Canadian by the name of Hassan. And this new Canadian had a deep financial acumen. He was a commercial account he had a commercial account management experience in India. And I knew at once that I thought he would make a great addition to our BMO family. And so I encouraged him to apply for roles at BMO and to keep me apprised of his progress. Several months later, I heard from Hassan. And I could tell there was a little bit of nervousness in his voice and a little bit of apprehension. I was not expecting to hear what I heard. So Hassan explained to me that he had applied for several positions and that he had been interviewed for one. And that the feedback that he received why he wasn't selected was quite generic and not helpful. Needless to say that he thanked me. He was so gracious. He thanked me so much for my help, but he felt that he just thought he should share his story with me. Well, needless to say that I wasn't happy with this turn of events, and so I started to do some investigating. I contacted the recruiter and asked to find out why Hassan hadn't been chosen for at least beyond a recruiter interview. And the recruiter was a little bit nervous to tell me, that although she felt he had great credentials, he actually didn't interview well. And so I asked her, what do you mean he didn't interview well? She goes, well, I don't think he knows how to go through behavioral focused interview, so remember that thought. She said, I did still send the resume to the hiring manager, but here's what the hiring manager said. Well, he's got no Canadian experience. I'm gonna have to train him. I'm so busy. I can't deal with that. And so his candidacy was really put to the side. And the lesson that I learned there is that because we want things to happen, and even if senior leaders embrace the idea of bringing in new Canadians, it can't just be a few people that feel that way. So I asked the leaders to imagine a future where we had specific training programs for our pivotal roles, and where we would develop highly culturally competent leaders that would embrace individuals from different cultures into our workplace. And I'm really proud to tell you that that story has turned into many, many training programs that will help individuals that have the right attitude, not necessarily the right credentials per se, but the right attitude, and that are eager to learn. And so we do have training programs in place for all our pivotal roles in the personal and commercial business. And we also, as I said earlier, have a great deal of training for our managers and employees. Because you know what, at the end of the day, I don't think that individuals, such as the hiring manager that I spoke about, have the wrong attitude per se. They're very busy, so we have to make it easy for them to make the right choices. To outpace our competition, we are turning our focus, as I said, onto company-wide cultural competency. BMO is integrating our diversity strategy into our lines of business, and we are developing greater awareness around supporting the needs of our employees and customers. We want all our employees to know that diversity is part of their job, that being inclusive is an essential part of serving our customers. We need to look no further than one of our branches here in Calgary to see cultural competency in action. Recently, our new scheduling software was piloted in Calgary. A branch manager took steps to integrate long enough lunch breaks to allow Muslim employees to visit their local mosque. It's that type of self-awareness and emotional intelligence that speaks to the essential skills of cultural competency. That small arrangement within the schedule makes a big difference in the job satisfaction of many of our employees, which in turn helps us to attract more high performers to our company. Calgary is leading Canada in our next evolution towards an ever more inclusive and diverse society. BMO is a living example of how immigrants and new Canadians are essential for our business. New Canadians are the key growth to the economy in Alberta. The successful integration and inclusion of all Canadians will be the greatest challenge of the next decade, but it will be surely one of the most worthwhile investments. Indeed, investing in people and their potential has built this country, and continuing this tradition with new Canadians will lead us to continued success in the future. Thank you.